Okay, good afternoon, everybody. Konnichiwa. So it's our pleasure to meet you in the 12th International Conference on ICT for Smart Society, ICISS 2025. My name is Septyanto Galan, and I will represent my team of researchers to present our study entitled, wait, let me share the screen. Yeah, entitled Integrating Smart X Indicators for City and Rural Areas, Cases in Indonesia, Japan, and Malaysia. Hence the konnichiwa. So basically our team consists of Rino Ardhian, Roisa Hanifah, myself, Anif Jamaluddin, Muslimin Wallang, and Rosita Novi Andari. And actually we consist of several scholars from various universities, but here we represent Universitas Sebelas Maret or UNS Surakarta, Indonesia. So let us begin. This is the content of our presentation. We will give you a slight introduction, then we will see the status quo of the study through literature review, and then we'll explain the method, we'll share the result, and then we discuss and ends up with conclusion. Now let us begin with introduction. So as I said before in the title, we talk about smart city and smart village and smart X. And yeah, basically, the thing is like we will dwell on this concept of smart village and smart city things. Smart city initiatives already exist since the European Commission launched the Smart Cities and Communities Initiative to address the growing popularity of smart cities. Basically, since around 2012, I believe. And then the smart village initiative and concepts to basically balance the things, it emerged as a response to the development disparities between the urban and rural areas, so between urban and suburban, with the primary focus on the use of ICT within two areas. And basically here we can see the importance of ICT because it is used to improve the quality of life and basic services in rural areas, including affordable energy, housing, water access, early warning system, and so forth. And then we will move on to the focus here. So we would like to apply the smart X concept. Basically, this concept has emerged to identify the key areas for smart city development and also to reduce terminology complexity. For example, we already knew that the same dimensions are used in smart cities. When we talk about smart cities, when we talk about smart village also, basically there are environment, economy, mobility, people. When we add smart word there, smart things or smart elements before it, so that will become smart environment, smart mobility, smart people, and so forth. Yeah, it basically we already knew that there are some implementation of ICT on it or digital approach on it, and therefore it will improve. Yeah, it will be improved, and yeah, it can address the certain standards that a smart environment to a smart city or smart people to the smart village should have. And basically why it can reduce the complexity, because the complexity exists in these frameworks basically came from a lot of international standards, international models, international findings and research and parameter and whatnot that emerged during this research studying of of the two objects, the smart city and smart village. And that's why the research gap is there, since there are no unified models exist, yeah, and that integrates the smart city and smart village measurement frameworks um, to measure the readiness, to measure the implication, to measure the achievement, to measure the sustainability between dimensions, between these two smart cities and smart village things. It has not been found. So the unified or the agreed method is not yet been found. And that's why our research objective is to propose an integrated smart city and smart village measurement model contained in the smart X concept. How we can achieve that? Yeah, before we go there, we should address the status quo first. So basically, from the literature review, from the various literature review that we already explained in our paper, for smart city thing, basically it's very difficult to define solely because a lot of countries has their own approach to smart city, and also basically it's already focused on the ecosystem itself. And different country means different ecosystem for for their cities, right? Such as governance, strategy, and human resources. Basically, the primary goal of smart city is to fulfill the infrastructure needs, housing, energy, so forth, and address social key issues like poverty and unemployment. And here in the smart cities, ICT plays a huge role to integrate the data, the system data for intelligent responses to the public services. So to serve the public or to maintain the environment and also the security of smart city. However, the smart village is basically very different because the concept of smart village basically designed to address certain or specific issues. For example, in Indonesia, it's to address the rural unemployment for the suburban employment. In Japan, it's to address the gap between development of a city and village, or to address the urbanization for this kind of thing. So since it also responds to specific issues, but we can generalize the smart village issue to the basically their focus is to focus on the self-reliance or the independentness of smart village, so to fulfill their basic needs and also to develop their infrastructure themselves. And this um, ends with the identification that the smart cities and the smart village have shared challenges that include sustainable implementation and data governance issues. And basically, both concepts still promote the same thing. They promote the economic growth and regional balance. And then we'll go to the methods. Basically, we will do a quantitative, we already did, yeah. We already did quantitative approach with size sample 31 students from our university, UNS Solo, 11 Maret. And then our technical analysis, we use the inter-rater agreement through Krippendorf alpha test. Basically, because Krippendorf alpha can be used with any kind of objectives and also can be used for any rater, yeah, with various or with not any what would you call, with various backgrounds and also various experiment. Yeah, so basically it's kind of very flexible to measure the reliability of assessment with the respondent. And because we use Krippendorf alpha, we have assessment aspect. The first one is the indicator conformity to dimension. The second one is the use of standard language, and the third one is the ease of understanding. Yeah, so basically it should be very easy for respondent to understand. This is basically in the wording test, yeah. And then, yeah, our instrument of analysis were the result of integrating smart city and smart village indicators from various sources. There were 31 instruments for smart city and 23 for smart village. You can see here in our in our result and discussion for smart city. You see that the concept in smart city, we have like 6 dimensions: smart economy, smart environment, smart governance, smart mobility, smart living, and smart energy. In this each of dimensions, we also have the codes. Yeah, some of the dimension have like a 5 indicators later on, so we have 5 codes. Some dimension have only 3 and so forth. In the indicators, you can read by yourself at a glance. Yeah, because of the limited time, I'm sorry. So basically, for example, in smart economy, we have percentage of workforce employed in the ICT sector. In smart environment, we have percentage of municipal waste recycling. In smart governance, we have percentage of average online community response and engagement. In smart mobility, we have percent of real-time traffic information, and so forth. These indicators, then we can get the score of the Krippendorf alpha after that, also with some standard error, and then the description of the result. There are low, middle, and strong reliability. Same also with smart village. However, in the smart village, we have one additional dimension. It is smart people. Yeah, so in the code we can see village economy, village environment, village governance. For the smart people, of course, village people. Not that 80s music group, if you know means you're old, but yeah, I'm sorry. But then yeah, basically these dimensions is suited to the smart village concept. So the indicators similar with the smart city, but maybe more suited or more adjusted. Not more adjusted to the needs or to the concept of smart village. For example, percentage of village business on the smart economy, percentage of medium small uh, enterprises, yeah, in the smart economy also. Smart environment, percentage of disaster emergency equipment in the village. For smart mobility, percentage of main village roads to the city. For smart people, percentage of resident mastering utilizing technological literacy productively and sustainably. So yeah, it is very related with the, with the heyday, yeah, with the business in the village. And then you have the score of the Krippendorf alpha, standard error, and description, same. And our findings, the result and discussion indicates that in the smart city concepts, The Krippendorf Alpha boarding test result for smart city resulted in 9 smart city with strong reliability, 15 with moderate, and 7 with low reliability. Basically, from the student perspective, these indicators are still unreliable in the three aspects of the boarding testing, unfortunately. However, the 24 indicators achieve agreement among evaluators on the 9 and 15, yeah. So on the strong and middle, the evaluators agree that basically it aligned with the dimension. It also relate with the dimension and the use of standard language, and basically they kind of easy to understand the what does the indicators mean. And then the smart village, the Krippendorf Alpha has the result that 15 smart village indicator has strong reliability, 7 with moderate, and 1 with low. Quite okay. So from the student perspective, only 1 from the 23 indicators in the smart village concept failed to reach consensus. Only 1. So 22, okay. However, this finding indicates that, yeah, most of the indicators already meet the three aspects of alignment with dimension, standard language, and understanding. What does it mean then? It means in the discussion, we can see that the Krippendorf Alpha result demonstrate the clarity and consistency of indicators from the respondent perspective as a basis for integrating the Smart X framework. So the smart city indicator improvement, there are 7 smart city indicator with low, yeah, we should fix this, yeah, we should revise this. And then for the village one, but still we will focus on the readiness, yeah. 15 of the 23 smart village indicator have high reliability in the smart village. So it demonstrates the relevant of aspects across the most of the smart village indicators. Well, we can see the implication from this, the findings. What implication that we can derive from the findings. The first one, we have to prioritize of the reliability indicators as the core metrics of our model later on. The second one, that we will develop the uniform measurement framework with the other countries by using this kind of results. So we will fix the indicators and then try to also involve with other scholars. We already contact them, and then yeah, let's see later on what will happen. We be sure that this will be interesting one. So the improvement of the problematic indicators, we will fix that through the language simplification and then the dimensional adjustment and also validity testing with academics and scholars in the field, yeah, especially, of course, the one that deals with smart city and smart village topic from Indonesia, Malaysia, and Japan. Okay. Then, yeah, conclusion. The overall level of internet agreement among students on the Smart Tech Integrated Indicator Framework basically remains weak for now. And then smart city and smart village gap is already addressed. We can see that only 9 of 31 indicators demonstrated strong reliability in the smart city thing. And smart village, only 15 of 23 indicators demonstrated strong reliability. Basically, the findings of this test serve as a basis for revising the Smart X Integrated Indicator Framework of our model later on. And as I said before, we will fix the wording and also we will conduct further validity testing with our college, with the scholars, with the experts in the field from the other countries, and hopefully maybe it can be iterated to other country beyond, yeah. So in other continent, for example, because now we're still focusing on the Southeast and Northeast Asia. Hopefully this kind of like integrated model can also be applied to the cities, the smart cities, and to the villages in other continent, maybe South America or Europe. We'll see. I think that's all for our presentation. Hopefully it is interesting enough for you, and if it is interesting enough for you, we will ask for you to gladly give us suggestions and questions in the Q&A session. Thank you very much for attention and have a good day.